everyone, welcome to Coming Down, and it is a hypothetical edition. And so you know what that means. I am here with Matthew.
Hey, everybody.
And Shelby.
Hello.
And Ricky.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah, dude. So we haven't done one of these in a minute. Super stoked about that. How's everyone been?
Holy shit.
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, life is great, man.
Yeah, man. Hot back summer. Treating everyone well.
Yeah.
I mean, short of like fucking actual way too hot of fucking
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, it's been hot.
Other than the unprecedented heat wave hitting the Pacific Northwest repeatedly, we're great.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. No worries.
Also, Raya growled a little bit.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
learned that if anyone says hello, it means someone may have walked in the door.
That's so funny.
So we have our other animal friend on this podcast.
Yeah,
and she's
you might
Raya
hear
the
her
dog.
occasionally.
Oh yeah, instead of Winnie meows, you might hear Raya barks or
Yeah.
growls or
Yeah.
fucking howls or something. Yeah.
Boos, noises.
Yeah, maybe I'll get her riled up at the end of
Yeah.
this so you can hear
Oh,
fucking...
Yeah, we all
Get her to derp out.
we all went around the circle and said hi, and so she immediately went, "Who just walked?
Yeah.
Who's here?" I didn't hear the door open, but you never know.
I know. Actually, I think the last episode, right at the end, Brittany came over and Raya
did.
went nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, right on. Let's just jump into it. Fucking... I'll do the housekeeping because I always forget that. Just a real quick version. Yeah, follow us at Coming Down Pod on Twitter. Email is comingdownpod@gmail.com. We're still doing the thing where if you want to donate to BLM or ACLU, we'll send you goodies, t-shirts, stickers, coasters, all that stuff. So just let us know you did, and we'll also match the donation. And we're just going to keep riding that train.
Hell yeah.
And if you just want to buy some merch, you can do that. And the Patreon's still on hold because we haven't not found a regular schedule.
We're getting there.
We'll get there. But like, holy shit, hot back summer.
Exactly.
There's just like too much to do to like try and schedule things out. So that is what it is. But so I got some questions here, some hypothetical scenarios. All right, so here's a good one. I think. I don't know. Hopefully. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Yeah. Behind the curtain, I did not have enough time this week to do some research on questions, folks. So I sort of scrambled a few together here. I hope they're going to work out.
It's gonna be great.
It's cool. If they suck, we'll cut it in post.
Yep, totally. So shout out to user Dapoom. We're all gamers here, so I thought this was fun. Shelby, you're getting into gaming.
Yeah, close enough.
So
You're wearing an Aperture Labs shirt. We're good.
yeah,
I'm
right.
wearing an Aperture Labs shirt that I made to dress up
Fucking
as the
love it.
costume.
Oh, yeah, you
I
did.
made this for that Halloween
That was a
party.
great Halloween.
Yeah.
So this question reads, say you get kidnapped by someone, but instead of killing you, they ask you, duel me in any game, it's your choice. If you lose, you get killed. If you win, I have to let you go. What's your game?
Oh, fuck.
Specifically video game?
Any game. No, any game. They challenge you to a duel. So, instead of like a most dangerous game where they like hunt you or whatever, like they challenge you to a duel, and you get to pick the game.
But they're just a normie? They're a human normie.
They are a human normal.
A human man. A human.
Yeah.
So I've got a really easy one. Just gonna go first if that's cool.
Take it.
My brother got a Sega Genesis when we were kids, and he got the Street Fighter New Champions Edition.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And it's the one with Fei Long and Cammy and
Okay, yeah.
like the other new characters. And so I don't know if it's specific to this version or if this is how it is on all of them, but like M. Bison has some really fucking tricky timing on his moves. Like, he can do these slide kicks into people's blocks, and if they don't hold the block for the complete entirety of that animation, you will still hit them.
Oh, I think I remember this.
So I would do these really cheesy fucking slide kicks and just fucking get through blocks, and like, even if they were holding blocks, you could like be holding back on the controller while you were doing the slide kick and then launch right into the fucking forward fireball move. And I would just fucking... My brother is completely demoralized. Like, he has no will to live anymore as a human being where fighting games are concerned.
You ruined his whole video gaming experience.
Completely ruined him as a human being. Like, it is over for him.
Younger brother?
Yeah.
So older brother's just kicking the shit out of him in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So like, I'm supremely. In fact, shout out to our friend Roz because like he wanted me to come to his Iron Chris tournament simply because of the stories that had been told of this one night at Quarter World where I had just fucking run the cabinet with fucking Street Fighter, and everybody's just like cycling through, and I'm just like, yeah, what do you got? Like,
I'm just gonna spam in Bison on you.
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
fucking wreck your shit.
Like, I put 1 quarter in the machine. You guys just keep coming, you know. Like, and so, like, yes, with that one character, maybe only on that one specific iteration of the game.
You get the choice. I mean, the question says you get to choose. It's all up to you.
And it's just because my brother let me hone my timings to this like insane degree. Yeah, I mean that's it.
I will say
I don't give a fuck.
This is a ludicrous proposition on the part of this kidnapper, right? Because like they're giving you the choice of any game,
Right.
Like, if they don't know the rules to that game, like, do they get time to... They don't specify.
Well, and I feel like I'm giving them an easy out here because a lot of people are good at Street Fighter. You
Fair.
know? Like,
Well, and it doesn't say anywhere that you are required to teach them how to play before you play.
Absolutely.
Like,
Right.
I mean, I could choose Go and they'd just be fucked, right? But, like...
Or would they, though? Because Go's, like, simple, and I'm bad at that game.
I'm terrible at Go.
No, and I mean, like, my mind immediately jumped to, like, Magic the Gathering, because it's like, if they don't know how to play, I'm like, you can't do that. You can't play it like that. That doesn't work like that. Oh, you don't know how, like, attacking...
Oh, you don't know how the stack works?
Yeah, you don't know how attacking works? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm just, like, fucking rules lawyering them all over the place, calling judges, fucking being like, Judge, my opponent tried to fucking...
There's a judge, like, with your kidnapper and you, and, like, it's like a judge in the corner with, like,
I
an
am
apron
so
on.
into this fantasy right now. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna get out of this easy.
Like, whoops, did that awaken something in you?
Right. Bro, I'm holding priority right now. Like, just chill, okay? Like,
Put the knife down.
fine. I already won this game. You should just fuck off anyway. Like,
Yeah. That is not my answer, but
I don't know why I didn't think of Magic. I was just like, I beat my brother at Street Fighter really bad when we were kids.
no,
so-
I mean, shout out to that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if you know you got a skill and you know how to, like, yeah, like, you're just gonna, like, fucking spam this person and just, like, cheese them out, dude.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you gotta do, cheese them out.
Yep, exactly.
What's yours?
Well, so, this is my progression here. So, like, my first thought is because of quarantine and us playing a bunch, my first thought is I went to darts. Because I feel
Yeah.
like I am better than the average Joe at darts at this point.
You are.
And
I can confirm
it feels
that.
like something that I would be able to do. And I guess, like, yeah, I mean, maybe I'd pick
Billiards.
working title, Dungeons and Dartboards.
Yes.
Because, like,
Oh,
it is a
you heard it-
game
you heard
that
it here first,
that,
folks.
that we've made up. So, like, I already have the edge on the rules. But even if we played, like, cricket or something,
Dude,
like,
a
I
made
feel
up
pretty
game's
okay
a
about
great
it.
move. Like,
Yeah, so, like, I feel pretty good about either way. Still, it's still just my skill being able to play darts. But then I was, like, a little worried thinking about it that maybe there's a kidnapper here, and I might be just, like, nerves might be getting to me, and, like, if I'm, like, off,
Oh, yeah.
you can get really bad at darts. You can get just off
Oh,
on either
right.
side, and so, like,
It's a
that
mental
all
game.
of a sudden seemed like maybe they are getting, like, hitting anything, and if I'm hitting nothing, I could still just die.
maybe they're British.
Dude, fuck, right? Totally. So yeah, so then I went to board games and I was like, well, the most logical thing for me to pick there would be Terraforming Mars,
Hell yeah.
because
Awesome.
like I've been,
100%.
I was gonna say, like, you could school just about anybody into it.
Can confirm, like, short of a couple people, like, you pretty much win that all the time.
yeah, I'm a pretty solid Terraforming Mars player at this point, but then. Once again, it's like, oh man, variant. Like, I don't know how much I want, or like variants. I don't know how much I want to rely on, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of
pivoting.
RNG.
Like, even if I'm good at pivoting, even, but if I'm just like drawing shit and getting fucked over by my opponent, and what are we doing? Playing 2-player Terraforming Mars?
Yeah.
Like,
What
I haven't
expansions are
really
we
played
playing?
that too
Yeah.
much, so like I don't really even know what that looks like. So like I also maybe scrapped that and then landed on the one thing that I would pick to save my life and kill my kidnapper in this scenario would definitely be Guitar Hero.
100%.
That's the correct answer.
Yes.
I've seen you
Yeah.
shred, and
Yeah.
oh boy,
100%, babe.
Like I could just
Fuck
pick
yeah.
like any of the like first half songs, we could even play them on hard, probably even on expert. I'd probably still beat them. Like, I'm maybe not doing it perfectly, but like, yeah, as long as we're not like playing like Raining Blood or something on expert, and I have to like finish the song without losing. Like, if I have to finish it without losing, like, that could be tricky. But if I'm just trying to get more points than whoever this kidnapper is, like, I don't see a world where I don't. So I think that's the safest answer.
I love it.
Yeah, and if you get full choices, then you get to pick your game at your difficulty, or your song, I'm sorry, like, you get to pick the song.
Fuck it, I'd even show off Cliffs of Dover on hard because I don't want to show off too much.
Yes.
But, like, honestly, just be like, fucking Devil Came Down to Georgia, homie, like...
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. The golden fucking Guitar Hero controller, yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Hell yeah. What do you think, Shelby? Because you're the newest at this, at least the board gaming with us all.
I'm the newest at all the gaming. I mean, and this one was hard because the kind of games I play aren't necessarily the duel games. Like, I don't play fighting games. I don't play Guitar Hero.
Beating your fucking kidnapper in like Animal Crossing or something.
Yes. Stardew Valley.
Yeah, totally.
Listen, in Stardew Valley, we're all winners because the enemy is capitalism.
Right.
But
True.
Maybe you guys honestly just like
though.
continue to play and then you just become friends and like you go over to each other's house on weekends.
that honestly is a strategy of just like, I had two methods of thought. I was like, if I have to pick a game that I think I could actually win, that has a winner, it's going to be Civilization 5.
I believe that.
I fucking love it.
I have played hours of that game. I have a strategy that works for me. I feel like I could do it if they've never played Civ before.
Now, and that is like there is a winner in that game. Even though it's a sim game.
Yes.
Right.
There's different victories you can have, but there is kind of like a clear winner. Like, it's one of those games where like there's a science victory, there's a culture victory, there's a world domination victory if you choose to go that route. Like, so there's different, depending on what civilization you play, it lends itself to different strategies. And so I've played that game often enough with enough different civilizations that I feel like...
What's your favorite civilization? Who would you beat them with?
So I'd probably... It depends. So if we're playing with just the base game, I would play with Genghis Khan.
Love it.
And I'd just fucking scorched earth that shit.
Just Mongol the shit out of him. Yeah.
Mongol the shit out of him.
Hell yeah.
That was my first civilization I played with. It's an easy strategy. You just fucking build up your shit. The Mongols are like built in to have early game.
Become great-grandfather of the whole world.
Yeah. The Mongols are built to have like an early game advantage for domination.
Yeah, because they're aggressive.
And they have early, the game kind of progresses through like technological advancements, and so the Mongols have early advantage when most people are kind of still flinging arrows at you. You're like, fuck you, I'm on horseback,
Right? That was huge.
If we're playing with the expansions, I would play as Venice, which is in the expansion pack, and it's a completely
culture victory.
Completely different strategy.
Nice.
Completely different. In Venice, you can't build settlers, so you can't expand your territory.
Yeah, you're stuck on those waterways.
You just have one big fucking civilization, and you can purchase and puppet city-states, is so it's a completely different. It's very heavily like culture and money, gold, shiny things, and art. Like, and so it's a different victory. I feel like I could play either one. And I could pick any. I could roll with any civilization in Civ 5. I've played it lots. It's the game that I play when I'm home by myself, fucking around on a computer. I could play that game, and I have a reasonable chance within my skill set of winning against someone who's never played it before.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
If I'm picking a just game, because like I know I get to pick the game. If we're picking just a regular game, there's not anyone. I'm not
No, Civ counts. Civ counts.
Civ does count.
Absolutely.
The other one I thought of was just rock, paper, scissors, man.
I love that.
Ooh, man.
Just, you know
I'm good at that.
You know what? Rock, paper.
Just sweat bullets.
Yeah, let me look you in the eye and
shoot
fucking.
Yep.
let me look you in, because I feel like in that scenario I'd be in survival mode, and I'm already pretty perceptive. And I'm already pretty good at rock, paper, scissors because I'm good at looking someone in the eye and being like, you're gonna throw scissors, you motherfucker. And so I feel like I could I have as much of a chance of beating someone at rock, paper, scissors as anyone else because it's a game of chance.
Now, are you aware of the International RPS Society?
No.
There are games that happen every year on an international level.
That's amazing.
And there are groups like factions among the players of this game, like
Team Rock.
Well, no, I'm talking
Scissors.
about people who believe that there's like a way to metagame it. There's people who believe that it's purely random. There's people who believe that like there's a psychological way to play the game.
Oh yeah.
Clearly, none of them are wrong.
True.
So
yeah, I think all of those things are kind of
yeah.
true.
But there's people who land in camps who are like trying to work specific angles. You know.
Did you guys hear this story? I want to say I heard it on like a Radio Lab or something like that. But there was this story about somebody was auctioning off a bunch of art, and they went to 2 different auction houses and pitted them against each other, and they basically said whoever won a game of rock, paper, scissors would get the rights to auction that art off. I might be getting the story a little bit wrong, but this is absolutely true. It was like, you know, Sotheby's, like a huge auction house in New York, and then like another auction house.
Crazy.
And that was their stipulation. Like, whoever wins one single round of rock, paper, scissors, and you get to pick whoever in your organization is going to represent you and play this one single best of 3 rock, paper, scissors, will win the rights to this auction. And I mean, they're literally putting millions of dollars on the line for this, because if you win the rights, that auction house gets a percentage of that.
Right.
So it was like big fucking deal. Yeah, go look it up. Like, I'm just giving everyone the short version. It's intense though. Like, these auction houses, like, they select their champion, and then they do like send them to these like places, like have them train with people. And
before it? Are you
yeah,
serious?
well, they gave them prep time, so they all had like a few months to like prep for this.
Just get
to like
real good at throwing some
and getting into it. Yeah,
yep.
Getting into the psychology of it, and just like, if you
I can imagine the montage right now.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Like throwing rocks.
Yeah, like literally like heaving rocks, like cutting a bunch of paper with scissors, just like
Their trainer like watching them throw scissors and like slapping their hand and being like, you know, again, yeah, totally, fucking,
yeah.
Like dude's like meditating in the middle of this room, like paper just dumps from the ceiling.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, straight up, people get really into that, and I mean, people get really into anything though, right?
Anything and everything.
Sure. But and so the other really cool thing about this competition is like people come in costume, you know, like they'll wear masks so that you can't see their face, you know, which is honestly like a huge competitive advantage.
Absolutely.
it's like sunglasses when you play poker,
right?
Or hat visor.
And so there might actually be specific rules about like you have to leave your eyes uncovered, because I don't think I've ever seen like sunglasses in this thing, but that could be completely wrong. This is neither here nor there, but definitely check it out. It's cool shit. And for me, as far as rock, paper, scissors are concerned, like, it's all fucking psychic fuckery. Like,
100%.
we're all like slightly telepathic, and like it is this weird mental game.
Yep.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, so either Civilization 5 or I'm just saying, fuck it, rock, paper, scissors, me.
What a vast difference.
Oh yeah.
See, yeah, I guess I'd at least want to drag it out with like a game of Civ 5.
Well,
it's like, all right, we're going to be here for like 18
here's the
hours
thing
or
about
whatever.
Civ 5, or any Civ game. If they don't have their own laptop with them or their own computer, you have to play hot seat, so you're literally like passing the computer back and forth.
Christ.
So you're sitting next to each other on the couch And at some point, I'm going to have to be like, do you want to turn on Netflix for the background? Because, like, there's a lot happening right now. Around turn 10 or 11, like, an hour and a half in, we're going to be like, I mean, I guess we could just, like, watch a movie while we do this, right? And so, eventually, I'm just going to ingratiate him. By the end of the game, he might not even want to kill me.
Sure.
By the end of the game, he might just be like, you know what? I've literally been in your house for like 3 days because this is a long, long ass game.
Well, I'm like, fuck.
You cooked him dinner, showed him over the garden wall, and then like next thing you know,
I did show him over. That would be a good one. That would be, you know what? Yeah, we're watching over the garden wall.
Pretty soon you're just snuggling, you know.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be like, listen,
it's like Stockholm syndrome, but more
so so like, what makes you want to do this?
Yeah, next thing you know.
But walk me through. Who hurt you?
Dude, I mean,
I'll have to just use my natural charm and gift for being like, you know what? Fuck your mom. Don't talk to her anymore.
So you like reverse Stockholm the kidnapper?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I reverse Stockholm him, and I'm just like, listen, just because your mom was a bitch doesn't mean you have to hate women. You don't have to do this. If you feel powerless in your own life, you need to take responsibility for your actions properly.
Well, I'd like to just jump in right here and like to not just assume that the kidnapper's a male. Who are we kidding? It's definitely a male.
If it's not a dude, my strategy is not working.
Yeah.
Because, like, if it's a lady, I have to pick an entirely different game.
Oh, god damn it. Like, I feel really dumb for my answer. Like, my plan B was, like, Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, because I've only ever missed one question, and it's like, do you really, like, want to, like, emasculate your fucking kidnapper that bad? Like, oh, but no, I guess if you win, like, they just fuck off. But, like...
The question does say, if you win, they just fuck off.
They just fuck off.
Now... my answer.
So they don't even get arrested? Like, what the fuck?
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess not.
I guess technically all they did was challenge you to a game, you know?
Yeah,
like,
well, they did kidnap you.
Oh, they kidnapped you first.
They kidnapped you and then challenged you to a duel.
And then they let you go. Okay.
And then gave you the best odds you could ever possibly have.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty bad bet on the
just bad at
kidnapper's
their
part.
job.
Yeah, they are bad at their
Listen,
job.
they just
Maybe-
need attention.
Maybe so maybe they're like really good at games and they just assume that everyone else is bad and they don't know what the fuck they're fucking with.
Listen,
right now.
they picked the wrong motherfuckers in this
Exactly.
scenario.
This is the concerning part, is that if they're making this bet, that means that they are good at games. Because if you're not good at games, why would you make this challenge?
They're being cocky.
And so maybe the Street Fighter challenge is vastly inferior to the Stardew Valley challenge.
And this is kind of why I was like, at the end of the day, maybe I just pick rock, paper, scissors, because, like, if he's challenging me to, like, a game, he's good at games, and I'm not very good at games. I'm not very competitive. You guys know this about me. I'll play a competitive game, but I'm not good at actually, like I don't care enough about it to, like,
But if your life's on the line is how we get you to give a shit.
But I'm not like, I haven't practiced giving a shit about it, so the first time I'm gonna give a shit about winning, like, Terraforming Mars, which I enjoy playing greatly, but I don't know how to win it, because I've never thought about the strategy of how to win it. And
you don't have the rage boiling in your loins for oxygen.
I don't have the drive, you know? I'm just like, whatever. Even when I was running track, I was like, I mean, running is fun. Other people can win the race. I don't just want to jump over things. I just want to. If I could have gone to the track practices and never gone to a track meet, I would have gladly done that.
But Shelby,
which is so psychological.
How can you prove that you're good at anything unless you're winning?
I mean, yeah, that's what they keep telling me, and yet I keep showing up and being like, oh God.
Yeah.
Is this worth it?
I mean, like, this is why there are battles of bands. You have to prove that you're the best.
Listen, I could be home
with, like, some garbage prize, like a 2 hours of studio time at the guy who threw the Battle of the Band's friend's studio.
In his garage.
Yeah, like,
I could.
but if it weren't for that, you could not prove that you're the best.
Yeah, I could be home in my pajamas, drinking wine and playing Stardew Valley, right now, you know?
Amen.
You know?
Yeah, and if we
fucking
could,
man.
Listen, if the man as long as the man keeps us competing against each other, we don't really.
And I'm sure
focus
some
on the
man
issues at
has
hand.
found out how to make drinking wine and playing Stardew Valley
Probably.
into a rigorous competition.
Probably.
I think
Almost
I got
certainly.
this. Challenge them to a hugging contest.
Dude, challenge them to a foot massage? Like,
Yeah.
Mani Petty.
Yeah, right.
Fucking, let's see.
You don't know how to play Mani Petty?
You like
Sit down. Let me show you.
What's the game they play in fucking Always Sunny that Charlie
McDennis?
No, well, that's funny.
McDennis.
But what's the game that...
Charlie McDennis.
Charlie McDennis. But what's the game that Charlie and Frank play? It's called, like,
Nightcrawlers.
Nightcrawlers?
Oh, fuck.
Challenge them to a game of Nightcrawlers. Who even knows the rules? Yeah, it's like...
They might just fuck right off as soon as you told them that's what you're doing.
Maybe I challenge them to a game of
I
Calvin
challenge
Ball.
you to a nap.
Well, that was my go-to, but I'm just like, hey.
Yeah.
Listen, if anything can be a game, my secret superpower is being able to fall asleep no matter what the fuck is happening around me under any conditions. So my game would be like, I challenge you to nap, but I get to turn on music and like
I challenge you to nap.
I challenge you to nap.
Okay.
But
Let's play nap.
But I get to turn on music and I
calm
get to like turn on the faucet at like a drip in the background and like all this other disruptive. I'm gonna turn on an audio of a dog barking so my dog won't shut the fuck up this entire time we're trying to go to sleep.
You gonna make your smoke detector?
I can make my smoke
every
detector
20 seconds.
I'm gonna give my cat too much food so he decides to loudly vomit outside of the door.
See, yeah. So this game is called Who Goes Insane First.
Yeah.
Right.
The answer's not
And
me.
you just
I'm gonna
feel
go to
you
sleep.
feel confident.
I'm gonna sleep through it. I'm gonna fall asleep in the middle of it. I'm gonna sleep through it. And when I wake up, you better be gone because you lost this game.
Oh, man. Yeah, and like, fuck, I could just challenge them to like who can eat the most weed gummies, you know, like.
Dude.
Also,
I'm
I'm going with Civ. Civ though.
Okay,
Civ.
great call. So I do have to choose Risk.
Oh,
I was really
good
hoping that
choice.
you would choose
Yeah,
Risk.
that's my game. I've played a lot of it, and there's a...
Now, which Risk?
Well, this is the tricky part. And I mean... And this is the tricky part with choosing Risk, is because, like, really hate putting my life on a bunch of die rolls, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, cool.
Well, and that's why you choose Risk Legacy, right?
Oh, so then fucking... Yeah, okay, like, maybe...
So you gotta
Risk...
play out the whole motherfucker.
Play out 10 series, yeah, dude, and then we're there for a week. That buys me a lot of time. I get to, write my last will and testament, and I get to do all the...
Yeah, like you inscribe where to find you on the back.
Yeah, I get to do all my
He's not
housekeeping.
prepared for the long game. He's like...
Ideally, they wouldn't be prepared for the long
Ideally,
game.
they wouldn't be prepared for the long
Now,
game.
that is my answer, but you did throw a wrinkle in because an answer I almost chose was Russian roulette.
God damn.
Fuck!
But
Spit it all on black!
But here's the thing, right?
Fuck you, I'll kill me.
Well,
Exactly.
in this hypothetical, if you win, your kidnapper gets off more or less scot-free, maybe a kidnapping charge. But if I challenge them to Russian roulette, they do not get away with
I'm
this.
sorry, I was thinking regular roulette. Russian roulette.
Oh no, the Russian
Gun
kind.
roulette.
Yeah, let me introduce you to the Russian kind.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
so that way,
I honestly wouldn't care if my kidnapper. I mean, they've got their own shit going on.
No,
They're gonna
but
get caught for something.
you exhibited a
eventually.
lot of empathy to your kidnapper, and we're just like, let me turn you around. Let's watch a movie.
I mean, a lot of it is disingenuous.
yeah, no.
To be
You're
honest.
just like, let's
That's
just
fair.
play Fuck, Marry, Kill, and
Let's
like
just play Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Never have I ever.
Just fight. Yeah, we're just fight.
Listen, never have I ever kidnapped anybody.
You're down one. We're off to a great start.
Right? Never have I ever bet my life on a game of Never Have I Ever. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Look at us.
Crazy.
Never have I ever had a functional relationship with my father. Oh my god, you too. That's not
Wow.
true. In my case, that's a lie. I love my dad. My dad's wonderful.
no.
But I'm making assumptions about someone who would kidnap people.
For sure.
Listen.
And
you got
challenge
issues.
them to weird
Yeah.
games.
Got
Kidnappers,
challenge
daddy
them to weird
issues,
games.
like,
Listen,
it's
you
just
clearly
a
need
no-brainer.
attention and validation, and I'm happy to give that to you on a temporary basis until I figure out a way for you to not kill me. That's it.
All right. So yeah. So the reason I choose Risk too is because I played this game. There's a computer port called Lux, and there's like a million maps, and it's very fast-paced Risk where they do all the die rolls instantly, and so you can play like original map. You can play against like 9 or whatever it is, 7 other bots. You can play the whole game in like 15 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Versus like a normal Risk game, which takes like, I don't know, 3 to 9 days.
Yeah.
So,
to like, let's take pictures of it and we'll set it up next time.
yeah, we'll get back to this game. I swear we will.
I had a homie with a
100%.
PS1 that was always on pause because it just always had our Risk game going, you know? Because that's about how often we could play it.
So I know, like I played this game an unrelenting amount of times. And so I really understand like very nuanced moves in that game. And I think as long as the die rolls don't just completely fuck me, I'm going to best my opponent. And it's my favorite game, and I'd feel pretty sweet to like win my own life playing my favorite game.
Yeah.
So, that's the move. But, if I really want to fucking get at him, Russian roulette.
Yeah, dude!
And if I'm just like, whatever, we're going out in a fucking blaze here, dude. Like, maybe I die, but maybe you die. Mm-hmm. And that's rough for you.
Yeah.
Because you thought you were going to
Also,
get away with
if
this.
I die...
Right, because they just walk away. But now they're going to fucking die.
Well, that's how the question was
Yeah.
phrased, that if you win, they just leave.
But if you lose, you die.
But if you lose, you die. So
Also,
Russian roulette. Well, if I lose, I die.
Yeah,
Still.
I'm
Right.
But if they lose,
I like
they
that
die.
a lot. Okay, maybe I do that.
Also, here's another added little fuck you. If you lose at Russian roulette, they don't get to kill you, which is clearly part of the reason they're in this in the first place. So
You
it's
kill
an
yourself.
Ooh, you really
It's an
get it.
extra
You really
little
get 'em.
listen. You don't get to kill me. I kill me.
No, I think nope. I take everything back. I think that's the correct answer. I think Russian roulette is the correct answer for this question. We did it. We got there.
Plan B is knifey spoony, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. In the case of a tie, Calvin Ball.
Yes. So you can just make shit up off the top of your head. For
Right.
now.
Right. Totally.
You've got a ball.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Right.
Someone has a wagon. You can get a wagon.
Yeah, dude. Totally.
Yeah.
All right. I saw this one on Reddit also. Shit. I tried to shout out the user if I can. Okay. I don't have the username. Just quick question. What is your first cybernetic enhancement? So, like,
So,
Yeah, can we define what that is again?
so
we can
like,
set some parameters here.
No, like, is the brain neural interface already in place?
How? Okay.
Because we already have that right now.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think so, right?
Just this year, but
Like, I think if we're throwing around words like cybernetic enhancement, then, yeah, we're in sci-fi territory, like, no holds barred, like,
Aces.
what do you want?
Because, that's like the obvious first step, because that's like a link to all the other ones, but like, as
I've
long as
got
that's in
obvious,
place,
too.
then, yeah. Cool.
Hit us.
Yeah, so if I get if I get optimal, like everything that I could possibly want out of a thing, I want at least one, if not 2 fucking eyeballs that like fucking work really well / have like Google Glass in them or whatever,
Right.
you know? Like
Fresh
I want
eyeballs.
Cyber eyes.
I want cyber fucking eyes. I want and I want my phone and all my shit in front of me. I want
That's solid.
but also be able to see, like, I can fucking see far away, see close up, all that's no problem. Maybe I've got, like, a slow-mo playback.
You
Maybe
just wear
I've got,
glasses
like...
for fashion.
Yeah, totally. But, like, I'm fucking good to go. And, like, I'm way... Like, I have, like, computers in my eyes, basically. Like, so if I can pick
That's pretty
what I
good.
fucking want, that's the thing. If I have to go, like, way... Like... Ricky, you could never afford that. You need to, like, go way down and, like, where you're gonna be.
Yeah, your income bracket.
Yeah, so, like, if I gotta just pick, like, basic shit, I really want fucking, knees and, like, legs that I can just, like,
I think
never
eyes,
have to worry about that.
I think eyes is, like, the best one. But yeah, but knees and ankles, yeah, that's good, too.
Goat legs.
Yeah, that's what I actually want. Is, like, if that's on the table, I want fucking goat legs.
Yeah, cyber goat legs.
Right?
It's my fucking next band name.
Cyber goat legs.
I just felt like eyes is pretty greedy because it's like, oh yeah, everyone wants computers in their eyes.
Right. Well,
Like yeah, my first one, at least like one eyeball. If I gotta like do all my like cool shit with one eye and the other one's real janky and just kind of sees normally,
Yeah,
like fine,
right.
honestly, fine.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, like, having played a lot of Shadowrun, like, eyes is absolutely, like, the one, you know, like...
Right.
Is that one of the best things in that game?
No, I'm just saying for me, like, you know, like,
just a cool thing.
just having that data interface, as well as, like, having data softs that you can plug into your head and, like, just, like, download fucking software into your brain, you know, like...
Oh, Matrix uploads?
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, I want, like, the hacker interface, like, in my brain. So,
Right.
like, I just have a computer in my brain.
Yeah.
But, since Ricky already covered that one,
It was the obvious first choice, which is why I picked a second, because I think everybody wants that.
Right.
So I had to, like, say it first, because I would love it, because I'm blind as a bat without glasses. But, like, yeah, if I had to pick, like, a thing that, like, I would want outside of the thing everybody wants, I definitely want specifically goat legs, because I want those, like, double joint legs. I want to be
Right.
able to, like, spring. I want to be able to run. I want to be able to, like, do
Yeah.
all that shit, but, like, not without, like, worrying about, like, fucking shitty people joints that, like, don't do anything. And
Exactly.
bipedal fucking humans that, like, we only have, like, fucking knees. They weren't even meant to work this way. Like,
No.
none of this was meant to work this
No,
way.
knees
We're
are the
constantly-
crap
meant to be
joint we
quadrupeds.
have.
Yeah, they're awful.
Absolutely.
I fucking hate them.
No, we should have reverse jointed knees for walking upright. Absolutely.
Right, yeah, but we weren't meant to do that, but then it's like, well, here we are.
My knees keep trying to be reverse
Yeah.
jointed knees, and that's why it's a problem,
Bad
dude.
news.
Yeah.
But no, like, having played a bunch of Shadowrun, like, I feel like after, like, having your brain all wired up, like, the next most interesting thing, I mean, there's a few, but, like, wired reflexes.
Ooh.
Just having your
Whoa.
entire body wired to, like, a computer interface so that you have split-second
Ooh.
dexterity.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Like, doesn't matter. Like, you
I'd
don't
be
even
so
have to
good
think
at
about it.
cooking. I could
Well-
chop fucking veggies like so fast instead of taking forever and being like, shit, I hope
Absolutely.
I don't cut myself.
And then, like, you could cut the garlic razor fucking thin, but it'd be, you know, like,
Right.
Exactly.
All the way through.
Yes.
and I mean, if you ever got in a fight, like, give me a break. Like,
Right, you'd never have to worry about like walking home at the, after dark. or
Fuck, you could be a
whatever.
little cocky if you're
Right?
feeling it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
You could
you
do all
have ill
sorts of
sex
shit.
moves, like, you know, like all kinds of stuff
Whoa.
with wired reflexes.
fucking changing positions like it's fucking
Oh,
going
yeah.
out of style.
Fucking doing 360s off of ramps, you know, like it's all
Right,
in
I'd
there.
be such a good skateboarder too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think wired reflexes would be a lot of
That's
fun.
smart.
Dude.
It's hella invasive. I mean, you've got to, like, go through all of your fucking skeletal-muscular system, wiring
yeah.
it all up. But, like,
For sure.
once you get it all done, like,
Yeah.
you know. And plus, if you've got the data softs and you can just plug stuff into your brain, like, you just learn karate, you know, like,
Yeah, I mean,
your body would just do it for you.
I knew you'd have a good answer for this, which is why I
That
wanted to
was
start
smart.
out.
Yeah, I went for some real, like, easy grabs there, but
I also
yeah.
want to hear
Still
from
the
our
best
local
answer.
Luddite.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You're not even gonna get one?
It asks what your first one is. It's like your first tattoo. You might get a little one on your ankle or something.
I don't
What's
have a-
the, like, little
I
one
don't
you
have,
get?
I don't have a
Like,
tattoo.
I'm the same way.
So, I will say that if you have an IUD, you're already a cyborg.
I don't have an IUD.
shit.
Just saying.
Cyborg,
Just saying.
though?
Just saying.
Cybernetic organism.
Cool, just saying. I
No,
don't have
but
one
like
of those.
IUDs are hormones. They're not like
Yeah.
computer chips.
I'm sorry, not IUD. What's the thing that's the piece of copper that's in there?
That's an IUD.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
Copper,
just like
having
hormones, though. It's
copper
not
doesn't
like-
make you.
It is. It's a very rudimentary piece of
I'm
machinery,
not saying
right?
it's
Yeah,
like-
I mean,
I mean, okay, maybe
There's
it's
no
not
moving
cybernetic.
parts or like there's no.
I mean,
like,
I still don't have
machining
one for the
happening.
record, but like, it
Just
doesn't
because it's fucking simple doesn't mean
make
it's not
it
like
That's weird because I have one.
But we're talking about cybernetic.
Yeah, an IUD is not a cybernetic.
Okay,
I got one just to feel safe.
Cybernetic,
Fine.
just to be safe.
Pacemaker's way less
Okay,
sexy, but like
pacemaker.
pacemaker's
I
definitely
think,
a
yeah,
cyborg.
I mean,
yeah.
listen,
Definitely is.
listen.
Sure.
I'm just not. I'm.
There's got to be some little
I'm sorry,
thing.
I chose the wrong one. It was 50-50 between IUD and pacemaker. Just fucking go with
Same
pacemaker.
thing, same organ.
I mean,
it's
like-
fine.
Same organ.
I know, I'm making. It's obviously not true.
Making fun
I'm
of the
just
men.
teasing. I'm just teasing.
I'm sorry, I thought I was fucking throwing you a pitch here.
Pacemaker,
Jesus
IUD,
Christ.
whatever.
Fucking hell.
Either one, you shouldn't have babies. It's fine.
That's not the point I was trying
I
to
know,
make,
I'm just
but
teasing you. It's okay.
cool.
I'm saying, like, what about fucking, wings or something? Or, like, we're talking, like, cybernetic enhancement. You get a lot of mileage out of this.
I mean,
Yeah.
you could just have a hyperthyroid if you wanted to, like...
What about a hypothyroid?
Yeah, I was like, hyperthyroidism is just like a thing some people live with. It's like not very
Christ,
cool.
I meant like a tailored thyroid. You know,
like a super thyroid.
There we go,
An
yeah,
ultra
like-
thyroid. That's what I want. That's
yeah,
what
like cyber your fucking limbic system, like
I have
doesn't matter. Like
ultrathyroidism.
you could like
Why?
why not? But your endocrine system, you could tailor your stress hormones.
What if we put
Yeah, you could eat whatever you want. You could not.
What if
I
we
do
put a
that
sprinkler
already.
in your hand
Right.
and then you could water your plants?
But, like, how? From where?
nano machines, man?
I
We don't have the technology yet. We're just saying hypothetically, like,
I know.
if you could like have an enhancement on your body.
You could have a microwave in your tummy, man.
What if we put it in terms of Harry Potter and make it magic first, but then we're like, okay, but actually it's just technology. Won't tell her until she take it.
It's just the concept of body modification. I'm not into. I mean, like, I get it's cool. I think it's neat. I don't know if I would choose it for myself personally.
What
right?
if it was
like,
super non-invasive and there was something that like
It was
made your
reversible.
life easier? Like it could be very simple, right? Like
if I absolutely gun to my head had to pick,
yes.
I mean,
I would pick.
like, Matthew's got a gun on you right now. And
Yeah.
I think
Whoa, put that gun away, dude!
yeah.
I think like fucking
The gun is
You better
Nick
answer.
pulling out a gun as we speak.
The
so.
gun is your judgment. And, okay, I have old track injuries in my ankles because, as we've discussed, joints are bullshit.
Especially the bottom
Get some
ones.
leaf
Bottom
springs.
one.
Fuck feet.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I absolutely had to pick, I would probably go with, like, joints, ankles, and knees. But, like, that's... I don't even know if I needed them, like, that much enhanced. I just want them to, like, work the way they should.
I know that I amend mine, so I don't actually know if this counts as a cybernetic enhancement, but what I really want is, like, a full mech suit. So that, like, I don't have to use any of my shit, but I get to just be in, like, a mech
Yeah.
suit. I probably have to have some sort of enhancement to control said mech suit
Yeah.
well. And, like, my brain probably is sending those
If-
signals to, like, this thing, right? But, like, that's
If I'm
ultimately
gonna
what I
go
want.
with, like... If I'm gonna, like, suspend... Okay. In actuality, I
You could have
don't
extra
think...
arms.
Yeah, I'm aware.
4 fucking
I'm
hands.
aware
You could
of
have like
the...
5 more tits.
Yeah. I mean,
What are you
yeah.
doing,
For my
Chelsea?
litter of children that I'm gonna have because I don't have an IUD.
But they're also rockets.
Because why not?
You get 5
no,
more
I
rocket
get it.
tits.
I get the concept. It's just that, like, I am not personally big into, like, body modification. And, like, I'm not judging anyone who is. It's just like the idea of it is something that I have not, like, that I don't find, like, particularly appealing.
Oh, for sure.
Hence why I don't have any tattoos and I didn't get my ears pierced till I was, like, 27. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like my body is not modified as it is now with modifications that are, like, fun and casual and, like, tattoos and,
Sure.
you know.
No, and obviously that doesn't appeal to everyone. But like,
Right. If we're
cybernetic
going to...
enhancements to make your life sweeter. That
Yeah, but, like,
seems
you know,
awesome.
but
to me.
yeah, sure, but, like, you have a different philosophy and way of viewing, like, your body and the world around you than I do, and so it's
It feels like you're thinking about this in the same way that, like, I would get a tattoo, though. And, like, my tattoo is purely aesthetic and just for fun.
Right.
We're talking about a cybernetic enhancement that, like, gives you, like, a huge perk in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
It's not just, like, a fun accessory. It's literally, like, a tool.
What if you
Like,
use
what
lungs that
tool
let
would
you breathe
use the
underwater,
most, you
for
know?
fuck's sake?
Yeah.
So
like, you
if
could
I
do-
was, that's literally what I was going to say. Is like
There
if
you go.
I'm going,
Gills.
if
Yeah.
I'm going to pick a like all fucking balls to the wall, everything suspended, actual thing, it would be to breathe underwater.
There you go.
Tight.
No contest. That's
Gills.
100% what it is. It would be just to.
I'll go ahead and roll up the
lungs-
contract where I was gonna make you sign to like agree to do one of these
Yeah.
things later.
Yeah.
So you're safe. Don't worry. I won't make you get killed.
Either my lungs work underwater, or when I'm in water, I have gills, or something.
All right, the contract and the gun are off the
but
table.
Like,
now.
I'm just saying,
Put
like,
your guns away, boys.
the question is, what is your first cybernetic enhancement? And like, if we are hypothetically reaching a stage where cybernetic enhancements are like kind of similar to tattoos in the like cultural,
I don't see how they're
zeitgeist.
ever similar to tattoos, though.
Well, like we're talking about it
That'd
casually
be like
as
you
like a
talking
thing that
about
you get.
getting a fucking like laptop or smartphone and like making it akin to like a wristwatch or something. You know, it's
Right.
just like
But it is
one's
now.
like purely aesthetic, the other's like so like
But I would-
useful and can like.
But
really
I would
change your
argue,
life,
I would argue
for
more
a
people
lot of
have a
different reasons.
smartphone now than have a wristwatch, right? Because like the smartphone has replaced, like if you wear a wristwatch, it's a little bit
And
like
cybernetic
old-fashioned
enhancements,
and
I mean,
fancy.
way in the future, could
Well,
yeah.
replace tattoos.
I think they're suggesting
Well,
that
like,
wristwatches
like-
are kind of an aesthetic choice. at
Right.
this
Like, they don't
Right.
do a whole lot for you beyond being an aesthetic choice, whereas, like, the other things that you would have on your person are, like, so valuable. They do, like, 1,000 different things for you in a day.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what we're talking about, cybernetic enhancements versus tattoos. Like,
No, I know, I
a
get
tattoo's
it.
pretty casual. Like, a cybernetic enhancement would be, like, a level up for your life. Like,
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
What I'm saying is like, for my personal philosophy, I don't really want that.
You don't want built-in roller skates in your feet.
No,
I get it.
I don't. I want to live in a cottage
we're
in
gonna
the
have to
woods.
agree to disagree.
Yeah. Listen,
I feel like we're
I
still
wanna-
missing something here.
I want to
like-
live in a cottage in the woods, and I want to get gray hair, and I want to grow old, and I want to go barefoot in my garden, and like that's what I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be the local
yeah.
hobgoblin crone
Hell yeah.
witch that like grows old when
Well,
y'all
and
get
meanwhile,
cyber enhancements. That
I'm
make you
over
not
here
grow, and,
like
that's fine.
working out the min-max on like
Yeah.
every single cybernetic enhancement.
No,
how much
honestly,
my
it's
body
all
can
good
actually
because I'll
handle.
know exactly where you live. I'll know
Absolutely will.
exactly what
Yeah.
you're doing at any given
You
point in
will-
the day because
uh-huh.
my fucking cybernetic eye can just like.
1,000% you will.
Do it.
And I like want. I'm here for you guys.
But I'm saying, like, here, like, there's got to be something that fits into that world for you. So, like, if you just want to live in a cottage and like have a garden, what about like a sensory fucking adaptation that lets you know, like, allows you to speak to your plants, right? So you know exactly what like chemicals they need. It's like, oh, this plant just told me it's like short on phosphorus, and
Yeah,
like now
but
I get to like
the-
make this like now I just get some back guano and we fix this up and like yeah, and then you're just like communing with plants, and then your life
I'm
isn't
not-
that much different.
I'm not
Right.
denying that it's cool. I'm not denying that
It feels like you're exactly.
No, it's super cool. The whole concept of cybernetic enhancements is super fucking neat, and I'm here for it as a concept. I am skeeved out by people doing shit to my body. I don't like it.
Yo, we all are.
I
is
don't
the
like
thing.
it, and I don't have interest in it. And there is not a world that exists where I go to a doctor or a hospital or an artist of any kind and say, "Hey, can you like fix my immune system so I can talk to plants?" There's not like a world that exists where that happens for me.
Well-
you know what I mean? Like, as I can picture it right now. So like, it's not the concept of it being a thing that skeeves me out. I couldn't walk into Claire's and say, "Hey, pierce my ears," without almost vomiting on the floor of Claire's because it stressed me out so much.
That's
It
wild.
freaked me out. And so like it's not that like I think the idea of cybernetic enhancements don't make sense. It's not like a philosophical, deep, like, I mean, we should just be our natural self.
And that's really weird
Well,
because
like,
we do need to talk about the fact that you're gonna have to get branded for Matthew's cult.
100%.
Well, and we also really have to talk about...
We've been over this.
Yeah.
And we also have to talk about the fact that, you already got a COVID vaccine, so you definitely have a microchip in you right
100%.
now.
Can we talk about like how you're getting 5G in
Yeah,
your brain already?
You got
I
5G
did
pumping
get a COVID
directly
vaccine.
into your body.
Are you guys getting 5G? I'm getting 7G.
Oh
Whoa.
my god.
I skipped 6.
What shot did
Did you get Pfizer or Moderna?
Well, both.
Okay, see, that's why.
See,
Apparently they multiply.
Well,
It's
three
crazy.
of each and half a J&J.
We split a J&J.
Yeah.
We each got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
J.
You guys smoked half a J? Like,
Yeah, we each got a
Yeah,
J.
1 J each, and then Ricky took Johnson, I took Johnson, and then but that seems to be the perfect blend. And triple sec, and then you now have the perfect cocktail to get 7G. So skipped 6 entirely. We're
Yeah.
rocking
Already fucked
7G
6.
levels here
Buggy as hell.
already.
I mean, and I here in all seriousness, I posted about this on Facebook. I don't like needles, and the COVID vaccine is the first vaccine that I've walked into a clinic and gotten willingly as like an adult. I've got all my vaccines as a kid because my
Dude.
mom is a nurse, obviously. But like as an adult, the COVID vaccine is the first one I've walked into like a place and gotten. And by the time they called my name, because I was on kind of a long wait, I was like almost in tears because I was psyched out.
I got pretty psyched
getting
out
a
about my
shot.
first one because I hadn't gotten a shot in like 15 years.
Yeah,
so,
and
that
like
did feel
my-
Jesus, you guys start getting flu shots.
My-
Seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
yes, and
Well,
tetanus. Up on your tetanus.
I-
I'm
Yeah.
upped on my tetanus
You are.
because my cat attacked me.
But
and I
like,
had to
I walked in
I didn't get
there.
tetanus, so it's fine.
I walked in there, and my pharmacy tech is like this nice man, and he's just like, "How's your day going?" And I'm like, It's going good." You know, like I'm like panicked and having a fucking moment, and I was like, "Listen, I know it doesn't hurt, and I know it's not that big of a deal, and I know it's not your fault. I'm gonna cry. It's the stress. It's fine. It's just the stress. It's not you. I get it. I know it doesn't even hurt that much. It's just the concept of it."
Yeah.
And I sat in the waiting room for a long time, and he's like, "Do you want me to just get it over with?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you could, that'd be great." And he's like, "Okay," and he just like stuck me, and it was fine.
That's the
Exactly.
move. Look
Yeah.
away, just be like, don't
Yeah.
tell me when you're doing it. Don't
was-
give me a countdown, just fucking
It was
hit me.
fine,
Yeah.
but like the thing that skeeves me out about it, and about it's the same with piercings, it's the same with surgery, it's the same with tattoos, it's the same with
So-
shots. It's like it's an entire all-encompassing kind of phobia.
If I could jump in a
don't-
little bit here, I think that everyone has that, and I think
Yeah.
that you're on the far end of like, you won't get it. Like, I like tattoos because there is kind of that element of like danger, and also like what's the word I'm looking for, of just like of crossing a boundary, right? Like
Sure.
tattoos do not feel good. Don't
No.
let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
They fucking hurt, especially depending on the area you get them.
Yeah.
You're also just putting your fucking body into someone else's hands and being like, hope you don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
But I think that that's part of the appeal of it, is you're just sort of like releasing that, and it's sort of like you get to just sort of like let go of that for a minute and be like, all right, man,
Yeah.
I hope I come out on the other side okay, and you usually do, and you know, and I think that that's part of the thrill of it, right?
Right.
And so I think a lot of people fall into that middle
Yeah.
chunk,
And
right?
at some point down the line, if I get a tattoo or like my opinion about this changes, like my opinion could change. It's not set in stone. It's just that like my gut reaction right here and now is like it's just not for me, and like I'm
That's
fine
fair.
with that. I'm fine
Yeah.
with that.
That's
I
totally fair.
won't know the
I
difference.
mean, you already even like said a thing, so like we get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it's all good. It's fine, man. It's
gun
really,
to my
truly
head,
fine.
gun to my head, I'll breathe underwater, but if you don't put a gun to my head, I'm probably not going to do it.
So you can also do some fun aesthetic ones, like if I was just gonna do like a non-practical one, I'd love to just be able to like change my hairstyle, like or hair color or something,
Super,
just like
yeah.
on the fly. Be like, for this party, we're gonna rock an Axl Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I'm also going, like leg wise. I want to be able to just like get up on like fucking stilts if I want and just have big old legs.
Goat's legs and big legs.
Like go gadget goat legs?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that
goat
would be
legs
radical.
That's my ska
is
band.
100% a cool choice. I
Fuck
love
yeah.
it.
Very much.
Yeah.
So, okay. There's a band called King Missile.
I have a fucking story about this band.
And this is my pick. It's not actually my pick. Jun. Detachable penis. That is not my pick.
Wait, what? No.
I actually
Kidding,
just
kidding.
want a Hitachi wand in place of my penis.
That is the album that I attempted to steal, but that's that's from the Lost podcast.
No, I actually don't have a good answer, like, besides 5 rocket tits. I don't know, like, it is probably fucking, knees, because my knees are fucked.
Yeah, so I stole
all
knees
knees are
from you.
fucked.
No.
Both of us have
My
fucking
knees are
shitty
super
shit.
fucked, and that would be absolutely the first enhancement I get. Like, I need to not feel wobbly and feel like, oh, my shit could just, like, fucking bend backwards at any moment in time. So, yes, that is absolutely my pick. Then a new penis. Then rocket tits.
What's wrong with your penis?
Nothing. It's a joke. It's very a joke. It's very a joke. Like, because I just think
I just want to be able to swap it out.
if you family feuded this, number one answer is new penis. I fucking guarantee it. Because
New penis!
Steve Harvey gets all embarrassed. But like fucking, like you survey fucking like your regular normal folk out there, man. Like it's fucking new penis or
New tits.
or new tits,
Cyber tits.
cyber tits, bolt on tits, whatever they call them. Like fucking
Cyber
dude.
booty, yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
I mean, I guess like the next move is just to become a Mr. Potato Head and just fucking be able to move parts
interchange
around.
Change everything out
Yeah, dude.
all the time.
Yeah,
Put a tit where your cock would usually go.
Totally,
Like a
dude.
cock where
Or
your
replace
tit
your
usually
Please,
goes.
ass
oh,
cheeks
butt
with
cheeks with titties? That way, when you're
Can
fucking
you imagine?
doggy styling, you can be grabbing tits. Woo! Okay, we're getting crazy here.
I'm over here like trying to refigure my endocrine system, and like you're like, let me tweak some nipples on some ass.
What is tits on some ass?
Well, like, listen, you can tell 2 of us are married to each other. Because you're just like, what if I put my titties on my ass so when we're fucking? I love it.
No, and then fucking Matthew over here who's like, I've read every Neil Stephenson book 9 times. So, I'm fucking rewiring everything. I have the smartest answer here.
I also was a DM for Shadowrun, so I have the book
yes. You were referencing Shadowrun.
with all of the cyberware in it, including all of the BioWare, which I was trying very hard not to split hairs on here, but like.
And I'm just like, I think it's icky when people touch my body.
This is
so
why-
if I could just not.
This is why I absolutely loved
Listen.
asking this question, because I knew Matthew would have a great cyber answer, and I knew our resident Luddite would be like, no.
Well, what kills me is
I'd
that,
rather
like,
not.
Here's the thing.
Once cyberware gets to like a good enough level, it just mimics biology anyway. So like,
Here's the thing. When we reach the end times, I'm gonna be hanging out with all you motherfuckers anyway. So if I need something off a tall tree branch, Ricky's bio legs can just get it for me.
Yeah.
If I need to see something far away,
Yeah, but I definitely get to give you shit first
100%.
every time.
You
and
give
then
me
go
shit
get it.
already for other things. We'll just add it to the list
I will-
of things you give me shit.
Whatever. You say that like it's a long list.
Listen,
Wow.
It's okay. We
Wow,
all. That's
Shelby.
okay.
I
We
will
all give
suggest
each other shit.
that you should still get the basic one, which is the brain neural
I
interface,
don't want to do that.
just so that you can piggyback with us. Like,
I don't want to do it. What if I just literally got on your back and you just carried me?
no, I'm talking about like you can just plug into my sensoral interface.
That sounds gross. No.
Thanks, Shelby. I think you sound gross too.
It's not personal.
Ew.
That's
Ew.
literally as personal as it gets.
No.
That's literally as personal as
No,
it gets.
it's not about you
Cool.
as a human being.
I guess.
Don't make this. Quit putting me on the spot. You picked this. Listen, you picked this question on purpose.
Whoa.
I did.
Okay,
And I'm going to fucking say we need to move on. So, okay, here we go. So the last question here. Did not expect that last one to go as long as it did, but that was awesome. So we're gonna do a Klosterman, as we usually do. Kind of probably running out of these before too long, but I still got a few. So this one reads as such. You are inside a very peculiar rock club. For whatever reason, the manager of this club demands that all his musical acts must take an extensive IQ test before he will allow them to perform. Tonight, there are 2 acts on the bill, and they coincidentally share the same band name, The Industry Standard. Both bands are alleged to be awesome. Sadly, you only have 1 hour to spend at the club due to another obligation, and the intermission between the 2 acts is very long, so you can't watch both acts. You ask the manager which version of The Industry Standard you should watch. I have no idea, he says, but I will tell you this. The first band had the highest test scores I've ever seen anywhere. Each member of the band is technically a genius. One guy scored higher than Marilyn Vos Savant. That must be where the term savant came from.
Must be.
Conversely, the band playing second has some of the worst scores ever recorded. One member might actually be illiterate. However, I halfway suspect they were all drunk and mocking the entire process. I couldn't tell for sure. Which version of the industry standard do you decide to see?
Oh, dude. I think definitely the low scoring one, if I had to choose right now. Because it feels like IQ tests are very loaded.
Oh, yeah, IQ tests are pretty bullshitty.
Yeah, so, like, honestly, I don't think that, like, your ability to test score well on that is even going to carry over into your ability to even play, like, a guitar well.
Right.
Or, like, play any instrument well. Because even though that technically takes, like, skill that would mean that you need to understand, like, rhythm and, like, all of these other, like, maybe complex things, like, just because they're not, like, set in a, like, an academia sphere doesn't mean that, like, you don't understand them. You just couldn't, like, explain them to another person. Which is really what, like, IQ shit is about.
Oh, yeah.
Is, like, actually being able to define the knowledge that you have. So, and just, like, the little bit about them maybe just, like, making fun of it. Because I also think that, like, I feel, like, pretty strongly about, like, how standardized IQ tests are fucking bullshit.
I mean,
and,
standardized testing is bullshit. And I love the idea of
it just isn't a good
that.
measure of knowledge or skill or ability in, like, really any facet of life to me. So yeah, that for those reasons, I'm out on the, like, super high IQ guys.
On the first band.
Like, yeah, no, I think
the
second one's gonna be raucous. I mean, they're gonna throw a really good fucking fun show. I think they're gonna have their heart in it instead of be all, like, maybe rigid and mathematical. And, like, maybe I'm not there for a prog show. So, like, I think I'm in on the air quotes dumb guys.
Yeah. That's where I lean too. I mean, and I think that the question's a little loaded, and it's trying to sort of, like, imply that, like, that is probably going to be the better band. Because I think we all know that inherently, that, like, just because you're a smarty pants doesn't make you, like, better at anything necessarily. And even if you are better, like, maybe it doesn't have enough soul or heart in it to be good, especially in, like, the world of art. So...
Oh yeah, if, like, all of us are on that same page, then I guess, like, I just explained the obvious, but, like, yes, that's how...
Yeah, and I think that there is that. I do think it is interesting to consider the idea that, like, you do know that this first band are fucking geniuses, and they're going to be very good at what they do, and savants can be very interesting musicians, too, and can come up with some very, like, off-the-wall shit, and, like, so... I'm like... I know that the second band's going to be great, but part of me is like, I want to see what this first band does, because if they are just a bunch of, like, genius savants, like, maybe I'm, like, watching the next, like, Mars Volta or Pink Floyd or something where it's just like, fuck, man, like...
But who's to say they have the creativity to make, like, an interesting song? Like, if they
say?
still just are, like, basically translating a fucking math textbook into, like, instruments.
And I guess this
like,
is kind of the question.
fascinating,
like
but
pitting
would it be
creativity
entertaining?
against intelligence, and how those pit against each other, and how much that matters in the like weight of the art, you know? Because like I've also seen bands that are creatively geniuses and they sound like shit. They're not enjoyable to listen to, right? You know? But it's like, I love what you do, never gonna listen to you, never gonna throw you on, but like, God, I support you, you know? Like, I'm out here for you.
But typically people that are scoring that high in IQ levels, that's where they're applying their skills and their like effort, and maybe not as much into like a free form creative side. Like, it feels like they've got like one side of their brain, I can't remember if it's the left or the right, but one of it's like firing like super hard on like a certain direction.
Right.
I don't know if that's also an outdated thing. The left versus right brain is really still.
I don't
that
think
still
I think
checks
it
out.
still checks out.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole like left brain people are more creative thing.
I couldn't remember which one's which, but yeah, that whole thing. And then
It
the other
might- it
ones
might
are
be a
more
little
like
simplified.
logical.
Left brain is supposedly more logical. Right brain
Sorry,
is
right.
supposedly
What I meant
more-
was right brain
I
is
know,
more creative, but-
I know what that. Yes, totally. Left brain is more theoretically logical. Right brain is more creative, loosey goosey.
Yeah.
I
Sensory.
think that might actually have been debunked.
Well,
Probably.
it
I mean,
feels
as I was saying it, I was like, you know what? I think this maybe is it because it.
debunked
I don't know.
or just realized that it's just too simple, you know,
Right.
to just say like, oh, well, two sides of the brain dictate all of these things. It's
Right.
Clearly not that simple,
Right.
but yeah.
Well, there's a lot of like symmetrical structures in the brain. So.
Of course, right, yeah.
But
What,
clearly I'm a fucking neurologist.
I mean, once you get that cyber enhancement. What band do you think you're going to watch?
So I've been sitting over here splitting hairs, trying to figure out if Yngwie Malmsteen is a genius or if he's just a fucking hack who's really good at guitar. Like, you know, and same thing with like Joe Satriani and like comparing that to Jimi Hendrix and being like, well, I mean, like that guy was clearly a genius, but
Right.
like, also, how would he have fucking scored on an IQ test? You know,
Right.
Like, I don't fucking know. Maybe not so great. Who knows?
Right.
But like, and like, harkening back to the whole like the band who doesn't give a shit might have more fucking soul.
Or just the band that's willing to mock it if that's what they're doing. He wasn't sure, but he was like, I got this impression.
I completely vibe off of that. So
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, man. Like, yes, like Mars Volta, fucking, you know, like so many prog bands. Like,
Well, and this is the thing too, right? Where like there are some of these really good like heart and soul, all fucking emotion bands that also weren't any good live. You know, like
yeah.
Like I would have loved to have seen Nirvana, but like by all accounts, it was pretty hit or miss if you were even going to get a good
of
show at
shows
all.
that were like transcendental.
Yeah,
And then everything else was a
and
spectrum.
then a lot of it was just like pretty rough around the edges, and just like, well, you know, they got through it, man. You know, so part of me wonders if like if I pick the first band, like I'm gonna get an experience. I think I know what I'm in for. Yeah, maybe it's not like this deep moving experience, but I know I'm gonna watch people who are masters of their craft probably.
Right.
Like, be very excellent. And then the second band, like, I don't know, man. Maybe we get a really good show, or maybe we watch drunk dudes falling over each other, and you're just like, damn.
Well, and fuck, like, I feel like there's an argument for Kurt Cobain actually having a high IQ and, like, being able to, like, fucking score highly on an IQ test if he actually gave a shit. You know? So, like...
Can't account for that.
There's a lot of weird hairs that
I mean,
could be
if he
split
wasn't
here,
so
you know?
much on heroin.
Sure, but I'm saying before the heroin, or maybe, like, during the time when he was, like, writing in utero, you know, like...
Well, he also had, like, an undiagnosed, like, stomach problem.
He also had scoliosis because
Yeah.
he chose to be a left-handed guitar player instead of a right-handed guitar player.
Oh, dude, he chose to be lefty?
He's ambidextrous.
Oh, crazy.
And he thought it was cooler to be like Jimi Hendrix, and that exacerbated his scoliosis.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
There's a doctor who suggests that if he had played right-handed, it might have fucking offset his scoliosis and maybe, like, kind of cured it.
Wow.
I mean, like, who knows? Like, this is
Yeah.
all anecdotal, but, like...
Yeah, of course.
There's a lot of things that could have gone... I mean, like, I feel like there's an alternate timeline where they just become a power pop fucking trio, and like, you know,
easily.
like,
Sure.
his stomach shit gets cured. Like, he becomes a dad. Like,
The timeline,
you know, like,
the timeline suggests that they never would have done that because Kurt Cobain was moving into sound collage right before he died, and that was his like preferred art form.
yeah, but he'd also like suffered brain death a couple of times due to heroin at that point. So,
Yeah.
like,
So who even fucking knows?
yeah.
Yeah. I love the idea of a band called The Industry Standard, though.
Oh,
Me
but
too. 100%.
if I had to choose at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'd go for the fucking Gypsy Jokers. You don't give a shit. Like, see what they got. Dude, like, these jazz clowns might be dope, but, like, I'm gonna roll the dice, you know?
Dude. Oh man, I'm finding all these band names tonight. Jazz clowns? Fuck.
Just a jazz clown. Oh yeah, what's the Dr. Roxo of jazz here? Like,
Hell yeah.
I'm a jazz clown. I do cocaine.
Yeah, dude. I dig it. Shelby, what do you think? What band are you seeing?
It's a really tough call.
Yeah. It
Is
is
your
kind
boyfriend going to
of a, I
be
think
there?
it's a tougher call.
Because I feel like I know who he'd pick.
He'd go for the second one.
You
whoa,
think so?
that is not what I would have thought.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he'd go for the second
When
one.
he gets home, I'm asking him this question.
Yeah.
You should. You
Why?
should.
Okay. I'm just curious. Yeah. Before you get into your answer, just briefly, like, why do you believe this?
I think. Okay, so he's a drummer and he's all about like skill and shit.
He's into technical shit.
And like precision and like
he is. But
math.
at the end of the day, yes. But at the end of the day, the musical genre that he loves is rooted in
Math?
raw emotion.
Oh.
Is it though?
I think so.
It
I think
certainly
he-
I think he
was.
believes that it is.
I don't think
he
it
thinks
is.
so.
I think it's.
I think
rooted in
I think
mathematics.
he would go for the second option because I think that that's how he views the genre he likes the most. I also think that that's how he views himself.
I submit
Is someone
to you
who
that
ridicules the system.
heavy metal
No, I know.
since Metallica
Yes.
has been almost purely technical.
Yeah. Well, and that's why he's in it, because he's into the fucking technical aspects.
Yep. Like,
So yeah,
they
not
haven't
saying
been
you're
playing
wrong.
with
We're
their
gonna find
balls
out. But
since
like,
the 70s.
I'm surprised. I would definitely expect him to pick.
I don't know if
He might not agree with that.
Yes, I don't know if he would. What I feel like is he would go for the second option, and I think that Matt also views himself as someone who makes fun of the like
IQ
status
test?
quo, the IQ test system. So he'd go for the second option. I don't know what I would go for.
That's fair.
I don't know. This is kind of a toss-up for me because I think they both kind of fit into things that I like.
They're each going to have merit on their own.
They're each going to have merit. I would probably go for the first one out of sheer curiosity.
What if it's just like a lute and a lyre, and they're just like fucking just playing like.
well,
Hammer tone.
What if
shit,
it
you know?
is?
I'll tell
I'm
you
just
what.
saying, but maybe very like. And yeah, just like
This bitch
quoting
loves a
fucking-
lute and a lyre.
That's what I'm saying. Like quoting like really beautiful fucking like Shakespeare, like really like proven to be like perfect, stood the test of time shit. I don't know.
Since
like,
I've never seen a lute or a lyre live in person, if they did a 40-minute cover of Carpenter's If I Had a Hammer on a lute and lyre, like, I'm in.
Well, you don't know that beforehand. You only know what
I
the
don't know
bartender
that.
told you. So
when
I would be too obvious.
when I think of artists with high IQ who would pass this IQ test with technical skill and also like the ability to pass an IQ test, I think of Rush because
Right, you'd imagine you're going to get, like, a prog band or a technical, like,
yes,
band.
some-
I mean,
Something-
Neil Peart's a mathematician. Like,
or
fuck's sake.
orchestral.
Right.
And that's
Right.
kind of why I
Well, yeah,
did
Mozart,
the wire
like,
shit. I was like, maybe
definitely
we
Here's
can
the
genius.
thing. Here's the thing. Neil Peart is an exceptionally bright human being who could absolutely pass an IQ test. Alex Leifsen
Not so
would
much.
fall into the second category.
Yeah.
Alex Alex Leifsen
Hey,
would
like
be
we
like,
all love Alex Leifsen.
Oh, absolutely, he's my favorite. Have you watched?
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. But.
He's my favorite. I love him. Have you the introduction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech, where he just says blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. The whole speech, his entire speech.
He's literally saying blah blah blah.
Literally saying blah blah blah. Watch it. It's amazing.
I love that.
Because Rush was not considered cool enough for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for so long. They weren't on the cover of Rolling Stone. They did what they fucking wanted to do, which is 10-minute long epic songs about like fucking Ayn Rand and trees
still
getting
get
put
played
down
on
and
fucking
shit.
classic rock
Yes,
radio.
they do.
You know,
Yes,
like
they
they're
do.
still beloved.
But only like one
Absolutely.
song.
When was he inducted?
Recent, like 2014 or something like that, before Neil
Jesus
Peart died.
Christ, he deserves to get up there and just be like blah blah
Yes.
blah.
So
Yeah.
Neil Peart, Geddy Lee have speeches where they're like, "Thanks to my friends and family for helping me do this," and then they defer to Alex Leifsen, who gets up there and literally is like, pulls out a sheet of paper.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yes.
you gotta sell it.
And proceeds to literally say, blah blah blah, blah blah blah
So
blah.
I love the amount of times that people have done this at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, this actually happens regularly. That might be one of the most, like, epic, but, like,
Watch it.
people consistently just shit on
Yes.
that whole ceremony and that whole organization and everything about it,
And
because it's
he's
just
probably
literally
good,
stupid.
right? Yeah.
What he
Award
literally
ceremonies in general are bullshit.
Yeah.
What he literally does is pantomime a speech where he's like
Puts inflection into
he puts
it.
inflections into it and
Some
he's
pray
like,
hands, maybe.
yes, at the
God,
end of it,
maybe
he
comes in.
literally does do prayer hands. He's
Yeah.
like blah 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 blah. But then like
Yeah.
because it's Rush getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, the entire front like 5 rows are Rush fans. So as soon as he's like pantomiming to the fans, like saying blah 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 blah, like thank
That's
you.
so funny.
The fans all throw up their fucking handmade signs that say all kinds of, you know.
If one of them
Fair.
says blah blah, like that person wins.
Honestly, at some point, maybe tonight, I will play this for you. It is fucking phenomenal. Also,
That's so weird because we're sitting right here with someone from the blah 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 dynasty.
I know.
Dynasty.
I don't want to say anything, but
yeah.
also, what's his face?
Bubbles.
No, the drummer from Nirvana.
Oh, Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
David
And
Grohl?
Dave Grohl and the
I told you they're related to Rush somehow. Wait, no.
David
I was talking about
Grohl.
Primus. I was talking about Primus.
David Smith Grohl. I don't know his middle name.
David
Grohl.
Angelo Grohl.
David
Lee
D'Angelo
Grohl.
David Lee Grohl. And the blonde bass player.
The bass player from what?
The blonde bass player from Foo Fighters.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Who,
Oh, Pat Smear?
yes, introduce Rush into this Hall of Fame thing, and
Oh,
then
nice.
they play on stage with them. It's an absolutely fucking phenomenal Into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert.
Hell yeah.
100%. It's beautiful. We should watch it. But what I'm saying is, Neil Peart would pass the, like, I'm going to take an IQ test, I'm going to win. And
No
Alex
question.
Leifsen in the same band would be like, fuck your IQ
Fuck
test.
this.
Fuck
I'm gonna
you.
get drunk and shit on.
I'm a
over
high
this.
school dropout, but you know what? Fuck your all the everything. And so
But I mean, I feel like that's that way for a lot of bands.
it
you know?
is. I'm gonna go with the first option.
Certainly
at the end of the day.
Primus.
Nice.
At the end of the day, I'm gonna go with the first option because I kind of, out of curiosity, want to see what they're about, and I would like to see some.
And you know,
technical
and my
skills.
final answer is the first option.
Mm-hmm.
If I were 25, I would have picked the second option because it's like I want to see the Rockets bullshit. Now I want to just see like people really good at their shit, and I don't want to. I've seen so many shitty bands, and like, no offense to these bands, you're all doing your best, but like you go on tour, and every single night of going on tour is sitting through shitty local bands until your turn comes up to play for the fucking 10 people there who don't give a shit about you. And so the whole night's not great. But the worst part is sitting through these shitty bands pretending like you have to give a shit because you're trying to be like a part of the community and like not be shitty to them. So I am done seeing shitty drunk bands fall over themselves who think that they're fucking cooler than whatever.
Right.
I want to see people who I am hoping with all hope that even if they're a little bit lifeless and a little bit heartless, that they're just fucking good at what they're doing and I get a good show.
Fuck. That's such a good point. I did not think
fair.
about the fact that, like, I'm putting a lot of fucking...
Right?
Faith
Exactly.
in the low IQ guys. It's
And,
like,
like,
I want to think there's a bunch of heart in them, but they could just be...
They could just think they're
Oh,
cooler
yeah.
than everyone
They
else.
could be
in the room.
Nirvana, or they could be every single local band
and,
ever.
Right,
and sometimes you get super lucky and
Yeah,
you're
why
in,
am I even thinking they're gonna be Nirvana? I feel like
I
an
also-
idiot now, frankly.
Yeah,
What is
well,
it?
and like we've already discussed, Nirvana was only good a handful of times.
Exactly.
and they were hit or miss.
Yeah.
Nirvana has always.
And sometimes you
Don't
get
get me
lucky
started.
and you're in Billings, Montana, and you don't even know why you're there, and the band that opens for you is Idaho Green and the Caps Lock Boys, and they fucking shred, and you're just so thrilled that you're there because you feel like you're witnessing history because this band is going to be fucking incredible. Shout out to Idaho Green. They are incredible. They moved
Yeah.
to New York. They're still very good.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But then the next 9 days of your tour, you're sitting through fucking bands that are not good.
Yup.
And look, again,
Sub-Sex Glove
again,
bands.
like, yeah, dude. And look,
Sex Love was pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. Like sub-sex.
Fair.
and I know that my bands in other people's minds are like that same band of like a band that they
Yeah,
sat through of just like,
probably.
God damn it, man.
Probably.
Gotta watch these fucking assholes play just so we can get on stage and try and sell one CD and like a
Right.
shirt to like get gas to the next town. I get all of that, but like, holy shit, man. This is part of what jaded me to the whole industry of touring anyway, because I was like, it's excruciating night after night just being like, fuck, dude. And you know, and you want to be that supportive band. Like, there's a lot of those bands who just fuck right off. They sit in the van or they sit outside, don't even watch the other bands. They go play their set, don't talk to anyone, and fuck off. I'm like, that's super shitty.
It's a dick move. Yeah.
It's really shitty. And
But
so
sometimes you're just like, man, that sounds good.
but I've also had plenty of bands fucking watch me sitting at the fucking table, like nursing a PBR, just like wishing fucking that it was over.
Yeah.
So that I could just get up and play my songs for the 5 people who don't care.
That's kind of how I feel about it, right? Like, if this band with the high IQ is some pretentious freeform jazz bullshit, I can bail. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it turns out there's Sun Ra, and you're just like, oh.
Turns out there's Sun Ra. Turns out there's Sun Ra. They make me want to kill myself.
Oh my god.
I can
Dude,
just
you
bail
realize
out.
there's a really, like, high chance that these people are at least not unlike Sun Ra, right?
Listen, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just, like, warning you.
If they are, good for them. It makes me want to die. It makes me want to commit unalive and run off a cliff.
So if you kidnapped me and we challenged each other to a game, I would challenge you to sit and subsequently listen to Sun Ra's entire catalog.
You would win. You would win the game. I can't kill. Just kill me. Just kill me. Just
like,
put a
tell
fucking-
someone taps it.
Well, it would actually be a mix of that plus Russian roulette. So I'd put a gun on the table with one bullet, and then we'd just sit and stare at each other and listen to Sun Ra's
Listen, you know what
catalog
would happen?
from start to finish.
You know what would happen, and this would throw a complete wrench in everything.
And someone grabs the gun and, like, shoots himself and it's like an empty chamber. They're like,
I have to listen to more goddamn Sun Ra. What would happen is it makes my brain so overstimulated that I'm going to fall asleep at the table because my brain shuts down because I have probably some undiagnosed mental illness.
Too
that
much
should
noise
be
and
medicated.
jazz.
Wait,
Too
do you
much
guys
noise
not like
and
Sun Ra?
jazz. I don't like Sun Ra.
it's a...
Hold on. Here, let me preface this whole thing. Let me also not throw Shelby right under the bus here.
That's fine. You can throw me under the bus.
What
the wheels
happened-
are there.
What
it's
happened?
okay.
What happened recently was a Sun Ra record found its way.
I need a pee, but that's fine.
Yo, we'll wrap this up after this.
Well, I mean, I can tell you why the Sun Ra record was
Fact.
here if you would like me to.
We don't even need that much. A Sun Ra record made it into this house.
Into this very roof.
And Shelby absolutely hated it. What's really funny. So, and this is the funny thing about it. Sun Ra has, for the uninitiated, Sun Ra is like a experimental jazz musician. He's a legend in most people's mind.
Let's walk it back a little bit. He is a being from another dimension.
Yes,
who
right.
He rode on Earth.
He rode in on the Solar Myth Orchestra with his band. Anyway, dude has probably like 80 to 100 albums. They vary a lot from very like cohesive, digestible like jazz to acid jazz to straight up noise.
Yeah, noise collage.
This is a noise collage one.
Yeah. So this is the one that found the way into this house, and Shelby did not like it. And that's fair.
Listen, if given the choice between never listening to music again ever or listening to that album again, I would choose never listening to music again ever.
Holy fucking shit.
And here's the rough thing, because I could probably find you a Sun Ra album that you'd be like totally fine with.
There's Sun Ra albums that are jams.
There's tons of accessible stuff, but he also has tons of non-accessible
I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. So when my brain gets too overstimulated, I shut down. So what this album made me do is, I need to go to bed or I'm gonna die.
So this album made you feel like you just ate like too potent of an edible.
1,000 mushrooms. Yeah. Too potent of an edible. 10,000 mushrooms.
Which album? I'm gonna go home and listen to this.
We have it at our house now.
It literally was like, this is just a wall of overstimulating noise.
Yep.
And I need to go to bed or I'm gonna die. And like, I'm gonna have a heart attack and a panic attack and die. And so but we were in the middle of a game of terraforming Mars, so I was like, I guess I have to power through this. And everyone was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm fine," because I don't know how to explain to people that like.
You also actively told Matt not to put the second side on.
Yeah. So then the album ended, and I thought we were done and we were over with. And then Matt was like, "Should we turn on the second side of this album?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. There's a second side of the album." And he was like, "Well, we've already made it this far," and I was like. We have already made it this far, and Ricky was like, "Yeah, we've already made it this far," and like both of them were like, "This is fine. This is a fine music to listen to," and I was like, "I'm gonna commit harikari at this kitchen table right now." That's fine. I guess we're listening to side 2, and we listened to side 2 of this album, and by the end of it, I was like, I need to go to bed because I'm having an existential crisis, and I don't know which way is the floor anymore. I don't know which way is up.
The way you explain this right now actually kind of like makes me feel like that album did its job.
It
right?
did. And
like,
you know what?
I'm like,
it did.
We need to do a deeper dive on this motherfucker.
Here's the thing.
This might be the key.
Yeah, dude.
Here's the
what
thing.
are the secrets within this?
So, the album did do its job. The album did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is to make the listener not know what direction the floor was.
Oh, yeah.
I just was not prepared emotionally or physically for that to happen to me. And so I was like, I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
Because apparently in this universe I'm JFK and I'm having an existential crisis. I must go to bed and ask not what your album can do for you. Ask what you can do for this album, which is go to sleep.
Which is not play the second side.
And not play the second side.
Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, so full knowing that if you watch the first band, you might get a Sun Ra band.
Listen, I'm gonna try the first band, and if it's a Sun Ra band, I'm bailing. Fuck my $5 cover charge. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm out. If it makes me experience ego death, I'm out.
Well, I mean,
I need consent to experience ego death, and I did not consent to
going
this in my
to
own
put
goddamn living room.
I'm going to put a pin in that statement right there that we need to talk about off air.
there's a lot that we need to talk about with that.
Yeah. I did not consent to this, and I need to consent to it.
I will, in fact, I think wrap us up here, right? Like, I think we've gone off the rails enough.
we can go on and on about how much I want ego death, but like let's just fucking put a pin in
We've
it.
all answered the hypothetical.
Yeah.
This is over an hour-long episode. We've done the things.
We
We've
did
gotten
it.
drunk. We've done it all.
I think at this point all there's left to say is you're welcome. You know.
Dude. And, like, shout out to you guys. This was fun. We'll do this again soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, friends.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, you guys.
Let's see you later.
Bye.
What a terrible...